Um, I've also been doing quite a bit of work on wildfire issues. So this also gives me a perspective on that. And I would say that for me, grid resilience means a grid and all of its parts or its elements that can withstand challenges or threats or quickly return to service if there's a fault or damage to the system. And some of those challenges and threats are cyber attack or a physical attack, and most recently extreme weather and natural disaster. And that can come from heat or cold, flooding, wind, wildfire, or earthquake. It also, I think, is complicated now by the complexity of the grid, the pieces and parts of the grid. And there's a variety of generation on the grid that requires more effort to make it all work together. You know, the two-way nature of the grid with distributed energy resources, the need for greater situational awareness. There's, more with the distributed energy resources if they're customer owned, the utility or whoever the grid manager doesn't always know what's happening with those resources. And then you've got more coordination of gas and electric systems, where the electric system is more dependent on natural gas now than it has been. And the natural gas and electric systems don't always coordinate well together. So when you've got large cold systems coming in the winter, making sure it's the gas system is different than the electric system, and it operates differently, and you can't just turn it off and on like you do the electric system. So you have to be very careful how you're managing those two systems together. NERC has done a lot of work on the inverter-based resources in terms of standards to prevent, to make sure that these systems ride through events and they don't drop off to create more instability on the grid. So it's really, the grid is more complex. It's going to require more situational awareness and probably technologies to make sure that it is being monitored. You can't just set it and go. Not that that was ever the case, but I think it's more the case now that you need to really closely monitor what's happening as a grid operator. So in my role at NARUC, the National Association of Regulatory Utility Commissioners, my theme this year, in addition to a 3-year theme I have with the two commissioners who are coming up behind me in the next 2 years, Judge Hudson from Virginia and Chair Sieben from Minnesota, we have a 3-year theme that's uniting regulators and harmonizing impact to make sure we can, we all have different policies and focuses in our states, but how can we make sure we're focusing and collectively acting in a way that's effective? My sub-theme for the year is advancing reliable and resilient infrastructure. So I really want to focus on these challenges that we're having, the importance of infrastructure to the grid, and the importance of ensuring the grid stays resilient, but also affordably for customers.